Hello, and welcome to session 2. And I am so excited. I am so excited for this subject because this is a massive topic. This is about being able to go to a part of your brain that controls your entire central nervous system and literally biohack for success. So as you join, I would like to just do a little bit of a rehash on where we've come from and remind you to have your workbooks, because your workbooks, guys, is going to be like your Bible. It's going to be your roadmap. It's actually going to give you the principles and the total transformation that you may not get just out of this short session. So by having your workbook and making sure you do your homework is absolutely imperative. So without any further ado, welcome to session 2. And I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So in session 1, we covered what really is about your success, your wildest success. And what I actually covered was that when you've got mission, vision, and purpose, and I do see you coming on in from the USA. Hello, Michelle. Hello, all you Facebook users, as you are joining in. And we've had a really big turnout of people that even if they didn't watch it live, you know, they've come back and they've watched the replay. So, you know, what I want to say to you is that life is too short to miss out. Life is too short to leave anything on the table. Now, you've got to do your due diligence, and that is what this live launch is about. So, you know, last night as I spoke to you about mission, vision, and purpose, I asked the question, what comes first for your epic life of, you know, health, relationships, and prosperity? And, you know, what I explained is how when I found my mission, my vision and purpose, that actually catapulted me into better health, better relationships, having a stronger constitution, having the ability to really fan into flames, you know, the gifts that I have. So, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that's the way you're going to be coded, but, you know, this is what genetic recoding therapy is all about, because they're your sacred codes. It's your lifestyle. And I'm going to say to you, as you all jump on, and I can see lots and lots of people jumping in, and I want to say to you that I can see your comments. So make sure that you are really getting involved here so that we can reach out to you and give you first class service absolutely free. Now, firstly, even though I am talking about you raising your code of prosperity, raising your health and beauty codes, raising your relationships, and even though I am getting you to think about these elements, you might be going, well, Terry, you know, how come you're giving us a $1,500 program and you're sharing and imparting so much knowledge with your workbook, with your concierge hosts and coaches, with all of everything from the ebook right through to the live stream? Why are you doing it free? Well, this is what we call the law of giving and receiving. And when you learn how to give out, and I must say to you that if I was going to buy a Rolls Royce, right, if I was in the market, and oh, how I wish, you know, maybe the black, slick, sexy Mercedes Benz may do for now, right, you guys? But if I was going in for a really high class vehicle, I would want to do my due diligence. Would you agree with that? If you agree, drop it down in the comments. If you are buying a property, or if you are investing in something that is going to enhance your life, in something that is going to take you to the next level, you would want to know, you would want to do your due diligence. And that is just wisdom, and that is just a fact. So the reason that I do this live launch is for two reasons. Number one, to add massive value, because that's what I'm called to do. God, as my witness, has called me to preach and speak and encourage and impart and raise you up so you can be at the greatest level you possibly can be, right? But the fact is that my programs are not free. Okay, my programs are not free. So, you know, the fact is, though, that when you are recoding your life, when you are changing, when you are transforming, when you are moving into a whole different dimension that takes you to a different level, you want to ensure that you have done all your checks. And by doing that, you are tasting and seeing what this is like. You're getting a snippet. You're getting a huge snippet. You're getting a, you know, a really great value of what happens when you work with me. Now, I've got a big bomb to drop at the end of the night, so you're going to want to stay on. Now, because my memory sometimes, you know, can take me into that kind of a funnel where I may forget, please remind me to drop the bomb, right? Bombshell at the end of this live, if you hear me winding up and I don't drop the bomb, because it's a huge one, right? And it's about you branding your brilliance, bringing your gift to the world, giving you the greatest and the most guaranteed change of transformational life while you get paid. I'm not saying anything more because I nearly let the cat out of the bag. So let's begin. So you've got your workbook. So you really need to do your homework. What does your dream life look like? We talked about that last night, and it may be this in the morning if you are on the other side of the world. And tonight, what we're going to address is the things in your life that are causing you to be held, I guess, hostage from your ultimate success, right? Because really, let's face it, let's just say there's a pipeline. And, you know, we know in Australia, a man named C.Y. O'Connor developed a pipeline. And what happened is he wanted to get water from one side to the other. And, you know, he was passionate, he was dedicated. And these are the absolute codes of success and of a person who is really giving and bringing their best to the table. And what happened was C.Y. O'Connor, he designed this pipeline, and what happened was when it got launched, let's just say, let's talk about a launch because that's exactly what I'm doing. So what that meant is that the water needed to travel from where it started and move through to go right over to the other destination. So that was the way it would move water through this pipeline, right? But when he tried and tested it the very next day, when he launched his project, guess what? And people in America may not know, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen, right? And, you know, he was so devastated. He was so disappointed. He was so let down that sadly he took his own life. And, you know, the very next day, guess what happened? Drop it down in the comments if you know what happened the next day. All his work, everything he did. The water flooded through, okay? It worked. So, you know, sometimes perseverance and faith and dedication are everything. They're everything you need as part of your codes to be epically successful. So you need to be patient. You need to know that if things are not happening for you straight away, they may not be happening now. There may be just something you need to do, just that little bit of a change. And I'm going to really put you into a position where you are going to start thinking like a multi-millionaire. You may already be one. You may be far, far, far from it and as broke as a joke. Wherever you are, I want you to put your mind and your body and your whole being into the mindset of someone who has multi-million dollars. And I want you to start thinking like them tonight as you're listening to this, because they're not going to be stupid. They didn't get rich being stupid. I can promise you that. And your pipeline, speaking of genetic recoding therapy, it needs to have flow. Did you hear me, guys? Write that down in the comments if you hear me. It needs to have flow. So what happens is if there's blockages, and we all have them, there may be from, the past, there may be from, burnt relationships, there may be from old stories, and these may be preventing you from speaking up, speaking your truth, coming out, knowing what to do to get to your nirvana, to get to your success, right? So this is where genetic recoding therapy is paramount, okay? So the idea of genetic recoding, let me just talk to you about that. So if you can imagine, right, that you have all these blockages and you're not able to get to where you want, but you've got the desire, you've got the want, you've got that part of you that knows there's something bigger and better out there. And I can tell you that this program is definitely for people who really want something special. This is not for someone who just wants to make it through life and just get over their, depression, or just get over their, their anxiety and just have a quiet life. This is not for you if you're that person. I appreciate you and I respect you and I love you, because that's how some people are, but that is not what this program is designed for. This program is designed for people who are stuck, who are blocked, who have had pain and trauma in their lives, but they're prepared to channel it into their epic success. So if you agree with me, put success down in the comments. I do see lots of people coming in. I see lots of Facebook users. I see have flow. Yes, we've got lots of people that have shared that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And, the genetic recoding therapy is really the biohacking of the brain, where I will actually help you to dissolve, clear, and release the trauma and the story that goes back into your past, okay? Because really, for the successful person, it's like I said last night, hallelujah, because it is part of your package. It's part of your mission. And on session 3, you're not going to want to miss it, because we are going to get into your mission. When you get into your mission, especially if you want to have an epic business, service, and you are a high achiever, let me tell you, you are not going to want to miss that, because that is going to be your whole core being. And if you've ever felt like, and I spoke to someone this morning, because I love to speak to people, even if it's just through a message, and I ask them, what is it that you really, really want out of this program? And they actually replied to me that they want to be able to speak up They want to be able to speak their truth. Now, I don't have their exact words because I don't have their message right in front of me. But basically, the long and short of it is that they felt that, you know, the story, which is really emotionally intelligent on their behalf, because they understood the story that they were telling themselves. If they were to stand their ground, if they were to create a boundary, if they were to speak their truth, they would feel like they were the bad guy. Now, I can relate to that. Can you? I can very much relate to that. So that is like, you know, oh, I can't speak up because they won't like me, or I'll be the bad guy, or I'll be rejected. I can't show up because people will judge me. They'll think I'm stupid. I'm not good enough. You know, all of these things. And I'm talking some of the most amazing people, and you're all amazing. If you're here, as far as I'm concerned, you are absolutely amazing. So when you remove those stories, you guys, when you can release that, you know, what is holding you back, that pipeline is going to have flow. I see, yep, I see success. I see you guys. Fantastic. And that is so good. So you want to have a pipeline that is flowing to where you are going. Now, remember, I asked you to put yourself into the mindset of a multimillionaire. Now, you might be going, if you're not au fait with the kind of work that I do, you might be going, well, how the heck do I do that, Terry? Well, let me enlighten you, shall I? Who would like to be enlightened? If you would like to be enlightened, drop a yes into the comments and I will enlighten you. In fact, I'll do that with you right now. Don't you like my wicked little laugh? Okay, so if I hear a yes, if I see a yes, I need a yes in the comments. Come on, guys. I will articulate you to actually move into the mindset of a multi-millionaire. I see an enlighten. I see people tagging, and I see a yes. Thank you very much. I've got a few yeses coming through. Okay, you've got it. All right. So I want you to close your eyes and I want you to visualize someone that you know is wildly successful, someone who is prosperous. Now, you may not know them such as socially. You may not be working closely with them. You may have read about them, seen them on television, but you really admire them. You know of them, and that's good enough. And I want you to see them in their form. I want you to see them standing right in front of you. And as you see them standing in front of you, I want you to notice their stance. I want you to notice how they stand, how they breathe. I want you to notice their tonality when they speak, the tone of their voice. I want you to really encapsulate what it is that you see in them that really stands out the most. And now I want you to do something really magical. I want you to rise up, and I'm going to ask you to rise up and call upon your higher consciousness. And your higher consciousness is going to go 5-dimensional, and I want you to drop down through into the mind of this person. I want you to feel into the body. I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe in, and I want you just to begin to imagine that you are this person. Now, I want you to imagine that you are imparting a great blessing upon them, but they're imparting an even greater blessing to be able to give you wisdom. So you are borrowing their beliefs, you are borrowing their values, you are borrowing their rituals, you are even borrowing their wisdom of knowing how they got to where they did. But you're just going to have the presence, the omnipresence of being open to what they think about, what they bring about, what they decide about. And this is about their rituals. If you didn't do your homework, make sure you do it, because rituals means just changing those elements of your life where you can really focus on who you want to become. Now I want you to bring that person back, and I want you to know that this is for you if you're a high achieving, high performance, ambitious person who is passionate about your career and you are driven. But here's the part that is magical, because you are actually driven to feel a sense of great importance because you felt and you have experienced in your life before a low self-worth. Isn't that interesting? You know that because you have felt undermined. Have you ever felt undermined, right? I want you to understand that there is really, you're operating from the element of the multi-million-dollar person who is objectively looking at your life. So you're looking at through this person's eyes, and you somehow know everything about yourself through this person, and you understand every element of how you felt, what you feared at night when you slept, the things that disappointed you, and yet you are in your multi-million-dollar mindset, because it's like you're a brain surgeon. It's like you're ready to do some really powerful surgery to make changes at an absolute cellular epic level. So you find it hard to speak your truth in your old life because you found it hard to assert your authority through the issues of establishing boundaries. Does that sound familiar, guys? Because if it does, I know what that feels like. When you haven't established boundaries, when you haven't asserted your power, when you felt that fear that has held you back. But remember, you're looking through the multi-million-dollar person's eyes. Well, I'm here to tell you that this is where it's time to heal your wounds. It's time to heal your wounds and propel your pain into your passion. That's right. Your pain into your passion. And in session 1, we spoke about what it would mean for you to be living your dream life. Well, just imagine you're right inside a multi-million-dollar mindset right now, and you are breathing through this person who knows how to think like a multi-millionaire. They have rituals and habits like a multi-millionaire. They make decisions based on their prosperity codes and their wildest success. But you're able to be looking at your life as if you're just watching your life as a movie, and you're just having that kind of assessment like, isn't that interesting? Do you know what I mean? Like really just standing back from it all. Because when you live your dream life and you are living with mission, vision, and purpose, then you'll be able to awaken and fan into flames, you guys, exactly what you were put on this earth to do. So if you're ready to rise in your confidence, and I know you're already feeling it, because as I speak, the more I speak, the more you are standing in your role models' prosperity codes, their decisions, their mission, their ability to make decisions that have got them to where they are, the ability to be wise and do your due diligence, just like you're doing now, because you're here, you're showing up to see if this, and to invest in yourself, right? So if you're ready to heal your wounds, because I want you to look at the you from their eyes and understand everything about them, and understand everything that needs healing, and know that that is exactly what you're going to do. All the broken relationships, all of those moments that you have even made mistakes based on your own pain, okay? You can look at that and know that that's going to be challenged and channeled into your hallelujah moment. And your hallelujah moment is that moment where, because of everything you have been through and everything you've endured, that is going to become your potent power. So guys, now that we know that you are ready to rise into your confidence, you must know the person you want to become. You must know yourself and treat yourself like you are this super role model that you are in right now, making these decisions and being able to do the rituals, being able to turn things around, even with how you eat, how you sleep, and know that you're not depriving yourself of anything, but you're doing everything so that you can live the life of your dreams. Your daily rituals, your morning routine, these things can become the pivotal fulcrum of your life, of what is going to really change things. Because, you know, sometimes, remember the story I talked about last night with the switch, the genius that knew which switch? And, you know, there was a stage production, but without that genius who knew exactly which switch to flick, it could have failed and they could have lost millions. And what I want to say to you is that when you know, it's not about having to know so much and it to be hard, because in fact it's about actually just knowing yourself. And that is what makes this program so magical. You may just change one thing every single morning. It could be something you do, like the way you move when you wake up. You may wake up and decide that you're just going to move your body, right? Because when you move your body, you're moving energy and you are looking, feeling, and being like the person you want to become. And I see here is, how do you define your prosperity codes? A lot of talking weirdness. Okay, well, weird is sometimes good because we want to be different. We want to be different because sometimes when we do things that are different, we are choosing not to be common. And I don't know about you guys, but I do not want to be common. So in your workbook, you will have the questions and they will take you through the elements of your life, which we call the SEEs. Now, that means the significant emotional events in your past that have happened. Now, we're not talking about every single trauma or every single negative thing that's ever happened to you. What we're talking about is 3 that you are going to choose as your landmarks. They're the things that have really played a big impact on your life, and they range from, you know, when you were very young, like 7 and younger, to the most recent, which may be any time in the last 2 to 5 years or even 2 to 5 minutes, and anything else. So it's 3. So if you follow the yellow brick road, if you follow the workbook, I want you to understand that as you answer this, this is going to be great. But remember who you are. You are now standing and being and listening through the ears of a multimillionaire who is wildly successful, who is wise, who makes great decisions, and you are experiencing the ability to have that genius zone of almost like you're a brain surgeon and you're just going to do some objective work on yourself. So that's what the 3 SEEs are, and the workbook will take you through that in detail, and because you've listened to this, it's going to make it that even more simple and easy. So it's really important to understand that you may have had and they will be completely different events in your life where, you know, you experienced a trauma. It may have been like, for example, as a child, like if I talk about my own childhood, I can tell you right now I had a very significant emotional event that happened to me when I was 7 years old. And it was where I was entrusted to be taken care of by my cousin. And as a result, I was actually physically abused, not sexually abused, but physically abused. Now, that led me on to feeling like I was not important. But that is a landmark in my life that has created the ability for me to be here with you now and to be passionate and know how to delete and actually release those kind of traumas. And you see me smiling even as I'm saying it, which seems ridiculous. But, you know, when you can become really objective about your past, it means it's no longer affecting you. So that was one of my SEEs. Now, that is a great one. And then there was another one at 16 years old. And then there was another one when I was about 39. Now, they were all completely different, and I chose those three. But I'm telling you this story so you understand how to actually do this when you're going through the exercise, right? So what I actually did notice is that even though there were different times, different eras, even way different, like, you know, like generations apart even, the fact is it had a similar pattern. They all held the same energy, which held me in this captivity of feeling like I was not important, right? Of feeling like I was worthless, of feeling like I was second best. And also, get this, feeling like I couldn't speak up, speak my truth, because nobody was listening and nobody really cared. That was in my mind. That was just my own perspective. But remember, we are in our multi-million-dollar mindset of wisdom and looking objectively at our own lives. And so as I tell you about this, you will identify that those things are patterns that are blocking up your pipeline that you need to release so that you can have epic success. And, you know, you need to understand that they're going to be elements of your wisdom. They're going to be a rock solid foundation that we're going to build for those of you who are going to listen to my bombshell that I'm going to drop at the end of this. See, I didn't forget. Basically what that means is that everything that you've been through that is significant, whether it is great or whether it is not great, it is part of your brilliance, and we're going to package that up for those of you. So my flagship program that I've got actually will take people at the very, very empire elitist rate so that you can totally package your brilliance and launch your legacy and turn every divine element of your life into a packaged program coded with your unique blueprint. Now imagine that, you guys. So imagine you've turned your pain into your fame and channeled it into your mission, vision, and purpose. Now, as I was saying about my advanced, level flagship program, now there may be people out there that just want transformation, and that is absolutely okay because I do create a hybrid program. But I'm going to talk about the advanced flagship program because you're going to hear some gold nuggets as you listen and take this in, because this is going to really fill every cell of your body with, even if you don't do it, it doesn't matter. It's going to give you the excitement and the exhilaration that something out there is possible for you. It doesn't matter where or what you've done in your life, because this is about branding your brilliance, right? So as you brand your brilliance and you launch your legacy, this is a sacred service with your own blueprint that nobody else has. Nobody. It's yours. And there's no competition. I remember when I went through, I've invested, I may as well have bought a palace with what I've invested in mentorship, scholarships, trainingships, certifications, right, you guys. But I remember in one of my more recent mentorship programs, because I know that unless I invest in me, I'm not going to go anywhere. And if I just look at free programs, which you can get a lot of value, like you're going to get amazing. This is a $1,500 value program, what you're looking at right here, with all of the goodies that we have included, with all 3 nights. You do that, you've got value there at $1,500. But the fact is, if for those of you who really want to go to the next level of epic, wild, uninhibited, I mean unshackled success, and especially if you have got a service that you want to have online, you're going to have holes in your boat if you don't invest and you just simply do these kinds of programs, because there's going to be missing links. And as I said, that could be the switch worth $10,000, right? So the branding of your brilliance comes from your life experience. Let me explain to you a little bit about this. So what does it look like for you to have confidence where you are wildly successful? Just think about that for a moment. Imagine if you've been the sort of person that, you know, for example, you've got a service already, you've got something that you really want to take to the next level. You know that you're gifted, you know that you're passionate, you know that you're the real deal, but it's just all over the place, right? And one of the things lacking, maybe just one of the things, and there could be multitudes of things, but one of them is confidence. You're not confident enough to be showing up and really expounding on your great gift. Well, that is something that I have really got as my zone of genius to help you to know how to recode that, to know how to channel it, so that all the things that were holding you back and blocking your pipeline, because remember we called it the pipeline, that is actually going to become your conviction. It's going to become the rock solid ground that you stand on to really bring about your message. So what will be the pain that you dissolve that can be converted into your world-class business? Because it doesn't matter what business you're in, it doesn't matter, you know, what level, as long as you are really in this epic flagship program, you know, you can take all of the elements and you can literally channel it so that you are so mission-based, you are so vision-based, you are so purpose-based that people will see it, hear it, and feel it. They'll see it in your eyes, and therefore you'll be able to speak it with your voice, which is the thing that you want. And in fact, the pain and all the things that were holding you back before are going to become the driver. That's right, the driver of your wild success to become epically transformed so that you can rise into your power. So the other element is that you do need transformation, guys. And the workbook is going to help you with that, okay? That is my gift to you. But when you come into my program and you actually experience it, it's going to be, the power of it is going to be exponential. And you've got to have strategy, because, you know, you cannot have one without the other. This is what I'm talking about when I say holes in the boat. If you are relying on free programs to try and get as much as you can, and that's great that you're doing that because you are really wanting to move forward, but unless you tell the universe, I am worth it. I have a multi-million-dollar mindset. I am going to choose the right coach. I'm going to choose the right mentor. It's like there is no way Jackie Chan, and there's no way some of the greatest athletes could have been at the top of their game unless they had a mentor. They had to do it. It's just not going to happen, guys. So that's why I say this is not for mediocre people that just want to be okay. All right. So you need strategy. Now I'm going to enlarge on that because that is going to be some more gold nuggets that I'm going to give you before we close, and I will try to honor myself by closing in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So these are the things you need. You need dedication. Number one, dedication to yourself, not to anybody else, to yourself in what you're doing. Number two, you need desire. You need to have the desire to want to really move forward. And number three, you need to be authentic. Because, you know, yeah, sure, you can be a great salesperson, you can have a great product, you can have a great business and service, and if you believe in it enough, you'll definitely be able to stand by what you are delivering in that deliverable. But let me tell you, when you are mission and you are dedicated and you are convicted, my gosh, people will know you are the real deal. In your own glory, in your own way, you are the real deal. And I know you're the real deal, okay? So just let that land. Let that land. And so imagine, you know, that you are actually going to encapsulate success, and this is going to move through your whole life. And this is why the master key is so prevalent, because it means it's not about one thing. It's not just about skill. It's not just about being really good in one thing, but you need to take that across and flow it. Because true success is when your whole life reflects, guys, your mission, vision, and purpose. You don't have to go out there in social settings and tell everybody about your mission, vision, and purpose. But I can promise you, because take it from me, as a person who's full of mission, vision, and purpose, what actually happens is that when I do meet people, they know there's something different about me. And if it happens to be that we are in the same room for long enough, what happens is that they will find out. They will be somehow curious. They'll be magnetized. So just let that land, and just know that your true success is when your whole life reflects it, okay? It's when you are doing what you love and you've been able to have this ability to biohack the things that are holding you back so you can fast track. That's what you're going to get. That's my promise to you. I absolutely 100% stand on this with rock solid ground that you will biohack whatever is holding you back. You will release that. Now, as far as your epic success, I will give you the master key to that, but that is going to be something that you activate, okay? So really, this is a two-way street. And when you know how to fast track through your epic success and trailblaze where I've been and what I've done and the mistakes that I've made, and you are able to come into knowing what you are designed to do in your life, that's when everything changes. Because imagine this, every part of your life is a chapter that becomes part in the flagship program. I'm talking about people who want to design programs, want to be the number one in their field. Every chapter of your life becomes your brilliance. It becomes part of your epic, unique value. And you need the fulcrum of freedom from your past in order to do that. That hallelujah moment of all the stuff that once may have bitten you on the bum suddenly becomes your greatest friend. The strategy you need is to create and cast your vision, state your mission, and live by your conviction. The story I told about the genius in the field who charged $10,000 for a 5-minute job really knew it wasn't really about 5 minutes. It may have been 5 minutes for the person who paid $10,000. And what would have happened if he didn't pay $10,000? Well, he would have lost possibly $1 million because he had a huge stage production. That person that charged him $10,000 for 5 minutes work, it wasn't really 5 minutes work at all. It was like someone like myself, 15 years. In fact, 55. And it's the same for you, because every year you've been born, we are going to create your absolute experience through what you have gone through in your life. So this is what we call applied knowledge. It's in the book of Think and Grow Rich, in the laws of success. When you apply your knowledge, that may, as I said, have taken 5 minutes. However, the success came from the years of experience. So what if we can take your experience, your own experience, and channel it into your unique code of brilliance? I mean, every main landmarked chapter of your life suddenly becomes your prosperity codes. When you know how to go through this formula, you are going to become a genius in your field. That's why I say very strongly, this is not for people who just want to be mediocre. Look, if you just want a transformation and that's it, I train people in my program who are actually in my flagship program who will help you with that. And I can tell you 100% that you will have a breakthrough. In fact, I know that the breakthroughs through the knowledge that I have through neuro-linguistic programming, stage presentation of neuro-linguistic programming, hypnosis, EFT, kinesiology, my high priestess work, I can absolutely 100% say and stand on a stack of Bibles and say that I've had people say to me that they've been years and years and years and years in therapy with no avail, and they've come in and they've had one session and had more in one session than they have in 5 years of therapy. So let me share my magic with you that I have packaged. Would you like to know about how I packaged up my own success formula as a coach? Well, it starts out with what I talked to you about before. What happened to me when I was a child, the wounds from my past, my worthlessness. And because I was really made to feel so unimportant, of course, I have a beautiful, juicy, and powerful modality that will totally cut through the red tape and change the perspective. So I am sure that every single one of us have a cross to bear. So this is where we biohack. This is the world-class breakthrough material stuff, guys, that I am going to give you for your own personal experience. Now, the next part is that I looked at the things in my life that I did do well. What was my vocation when I was a young girl? Well, I'm not going to go on about my story of how low my self-esteem was in my, early 20s, but I can tell you that when I went into real estate, my family business, I was actually one of the award-winning sales and marketing representatives. So that's part of my history. Now, I could have quite easily let that sail under the bridge. And, I've spoken to many, many people who want to really bring a beautiful service, and they don't even realize that, way back when they did something in their youth, and they may have thought it went to waste, but I bring that into their packaging. I bring that into their programming. So the sales and marketing that I've had through my real estate years, my years in dancing on the stage and coming to life and somehow being able to biohack even before I knew how to biohack that part of my brain that actually helped me to be able to go on stage and really dance and do what I can't sing, but I danced or doing whatever I was doing on the stage. I know that there was a formula to it. There was a way to overcome the fear, because we all have it, right? And so that's another part of my packaging. I will help you to overcome your fear so you can shape up to the camera, so you can shape up in presentations, so you can really expound. So guys, as I looked at my own natural flair and I looked at my own childhood hobbies and patterns, I was able to put all these things together, just as I do for other people, because these are your brilliant moments of life. But now I've got to wind down here. So what if I told you that your life can be packaged up into a multi-million-dollar world-class business? You might be going, well, Terry, I'm not interested. I've already got a job. Thank you very much. I work for another person. They pay me, and that's okay. That I would not recommend you to come into my flagship program. And you know, you may want the transformation. I am not saying no, because obviously I'm called to be able to do that. And if I don't do it, somebody in my team will do that with you. And I can tell you right now, you've already heard about how fast this beautiful, powerful material is. So this is about you having a world-class backup system as well. So for those of you who are coming on board, and you know, it's time for me to drop the bomb. So I'm so pleased that, you know, you have stayed in the eyes and the ears of your multi-million-dollar role model, and now it's really time for you to breathe in these success codes. It's time for you to feel it. It's time for you to smell it, taste it, like it's in you, it's around you, and you're ready to embrace it. So this is what I'm going to say to you. For those of you, can you imagine that not only do you catapult and propel your life into wild success, for those that may want to come into the flagship program, you're in it for 12 months because it is a journey. You are on a journey where you are given opportunity. So right there and on the spot, even if you are not a coach and you want to be able to do this work that I'm doing, you can actually have an opportunity to start earning. You can start earning as you are learning. So that is something that I don't know anybody else that's doing, but that's because I have a world-class team. Now, the world-class team that I have, they do things in a specific way. And may I say, I refer back to the light switch experience where you flip the right switch. You can go out and you can get yourself a whole stream of people to help you in your life and do the things and do all the things. But unless you know exactly what you need to do, and unless you know exactly what is your own authentic, true brand of brilliance, you're not going to have that full chrome experience. There's going to be holes and leaks in your boat. And that, I mean, we're always going to have things happening, but I'm going to be offering a special link, which is a link that will allow you to jump on a call with me if you want to look at having a chat, okay? But before you do that, I want you to really make sure that you feel that you want to become successful. I want you to make sure that you feel very aligned with me and that you like what you're hearing. Now, if this is exactly what you feel, then, tomorrow night, when we come back for our last session, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be tapping into your mission, okay? Right deep within you, and we're going to extrapolate the very element of what is a burning fire that's going to put a cracker under you, and that's going to be the very essence to propel you to where you want to go. So not everyone will do my flagship program to brand their brilliance, and and that's okay. However, if you're looking at maybe the options of transformation, then you are invited. You are still invited. But the only thing that I ask is that you are a person who is driven and ready and willing and available for epic success. So, okay, guys, here's the last thing. Tomorrow night, I am going to be offering scholarship. That means that for people who want to come on board and work, and, even when you jump on a call with me, that call is going to be worth about $500. We're going to map out, and guess what? It is free. But the fact is that you need to be 110% sure that this is what you want and that I am the person that you want to journey with, because it's a sacred and a very, very, very specific element that you're going to go on this beautiful, juicy ride. Now, if you're in it for a transformation, 30 days and your life will be different. I can assure you, and lots of people do that. All right, so in closing, this is what I want to say to you. What would it mean for you to be living your absolute wildest success? What is it that you would be able to have? What would change? What would be different? How would you feel when you woke up in the morning? What would you be like when you were eating your food? How would you see your body? How would you feel about your life when you are totally, epically successful? Now, guys, just as a word, as a disclaimer, before I close down, I am not saying to you that life can ever be perfect, because that is just not going to happen. But what I am saying is that you can learn how to have the mind of a person that can shift and create the kind of pivot in your life that you can handle things so much better. And that is something all my clients tell me. All my clients will say to me, Terry, I can't believe it. If this situation had happened to me a week ago or a month ago, I would have been a basket case. Did I swear then? No, it sounded like it. I would be an absolute basket case. But they were able to take it. They were able to turn it around. They were able to deal with it differently. So this is really powerful stuff. So if this is something that, if you want epic success, I want you to put it down in the comments right now. I want you to pledge to do your homework, to at least look over it. Even if you don't write in your book, I want you to make sure you look over the questions so that you can begin to transcend. You can begin to transform, and you can begin the journey of stepping in to the future that is going to unlock the master key to your epic success. My name is Terry Messenger. I am sending you guys so much love, and I can't wait to see you at the same time to extrapolate your mission from within and to give you a conviction so that you can stand in your power, speak your truth, and know exactly what you are put on this earth to do. I'll see you soon, same time, same place.